Hello and welcome back to this review of the Casio GM-110EARTH-1. In this video I'm going to start going through the features of the watch. As you can see, it does display, in addition to the time using the hands, you can see the day of the week and the month and day of the month, as well as the seconds counting both numerically, and there's a visualization at the top of the screen where it just adds, basically little squares with each second. And I think it does something like that when you're in like stopwatch or countdown mode as well. We'll see that in a moment. You can toggle between showing the date and the time using the upper left A button. So whichever you would like, if you want sort of an easier way of telling the time without having to interpret it from the hands, you could set it that way, or if it's more useful to you to be reminded what the date is, or just switch back and forth as needed. You can see that there are little indicators for whether the watch is muted. By default, the sound is on, and I plan to leave it on. Also, the light, whether the, I believe that's whether the auto light is activated, and change that on most watches. You usually hold in the light button for a couple of seconds, so I'm going to try that. And yeah, I see that changed. Now there's a very small, a little bit difficult to see down in that little corner indicator that the auto light is on. If I hold in that top right B button for a couple of seconds again, then it turns that off. So I have turned that off, because I'd rather personally just activate the light as needed, especially with something that is not solar powered. I don't want to be overusing the light and running down the battery too much. Okay, so in standard timekeeping mode, I don't believe that pressing the D button or bottom right button does anything to alter the display. Yeah, doesn't seem like it. And then of course the mode button will take us into other modes. So let's begin our work to make adjustments on this watch, since it is brand new and we do need to change some things. As is typical for Casio watches, with the standard like adjust and mode and everything like that, if you hold in the A button, the top left adjust button, for a couple seconds, it says hold on the screen, and as is common, what you first need to do is set the home city, and it's set to Tokyo initially, and you can move eastward using the D button or westward using the B button. And I guess it doesn't really matter which direction I go here, but I'm going to change it to New York City because I'm in the Eastern time zone of the United States. And then if I just hit A, then I would return to standard timekeeping mode. And you can see that it actually set itself properly, and it actually seems to be the accurate time. So I won't need to make further adjustments, thankfully. So it was obviously still set properly, even though it was in the original Tokyo time. It had not really drifted from the original set time, so I won't need to make further adjustments now that I have shifted it to the proper time zone. But if I did, let's hold and adjust again. Okay, so first you have the home city that you can change, and then you cycle through the different adjustments that you can make using the mode button. So the next one is, and I apologize if that's difficult to see because of the hour hand down here, but in the lower screen, DST is flashing above the time, and in the upper screen, off is flashing. And I want to leave daylight savings time off because just yesterday, daylight savings time did end. So I don't need to have that on any longer, and 4:40 is the current accurate time for where I am. So I'll just hit mode again. But anyways, sorry, I skipped over. If I had wanted to change that to on, I could have just hit the lower right or D button. Then if I hit mode again, I can toggle between 12 and 24-hour mode for the display. I am going to leave it on 12 hours, but if I wanted to change it, I could just hit the D button to toggle it. If I hit mode again, the seconds are flashing, and if this works like other Casio watches, the option you have isn't to set specific seconds. It's instead to either leave it moving or to reset it to 0 upon pressing D. I'm just going to let it continue. If I hit mode again, I could change or and P or flashing, P for PM, of course. Hit mode again, and the minutes are flashing. And if I want to increase or decrease any of these, I can increase with D or decrease with B or reverse. I'm going to leave these. If I hit mode again, or the C button, now the year is flashing in the top middle, and of course the year isn't something that normally is shown on the display anyway, but it says 2023, that's correct, so I don't need to change it. If I hit mode again, now it's flashing the month, 11 November, and then the day of the month, the 6th. And those are accurate, so I don't need to change them. But as with everything else, D would advance, B would reverse or lower the number. And then if I hit mode again, I could either leave the sound on or mute it. So if I hit D, you can see now it says mute, or D again, and it says key and has a musical note. So I'll leave the sound on. Then light, and you can toggle between 1 and 3. Now with most of the watches, even though it says 1, I think that they actually give you like a 1.5 seconds of light. I think I am going to put it on 3. I do apologize that, in a video like this, I'm not going to be able to give a great demonstration of what the light looks like, just, because of course we're not in low light conditions, so you won't be able to see it very well. But I will try to take a picture of what it looks like with the light activated in low light and include that in this video. So if I hit mode again, then we're back to home city. So I'm going to hit A to just return to normal timekeeping mode. In the final video about this watch, I'll go through the modes and how to use those, the stopwatch, timer, world time, and alarms. But I hope that this was useful to you if you have recently obtained this watch or one that's similar. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.